Hi everyone, it's Karen with Ziba Chalk. I am an independent Chalk Couture designer. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to be here, part of this one-of-a-kind group. It is always so exciting, and I've already done some shopping today, and I already know I'm going to be doing some shopping later. So hopefully everybody is doing good and getting some last-minute gifts in. So today we are going to be doing the t-shirts. Now I still have a few of these kits left. I don't remember how many, but I still have a few left. So the t-shirt we're going to be doing today is the Don't Bother Me, I'm Procrastinating. And everybody would have gotten a little sample thing of ink, their squeegee, and a tray, the transfer, of course, and then their t-shirt. About half of you got the t-shirt that I'm wearing, which is the comfort colors, and then the other half, most of you, actually it was a little over half, got the Zanana t-shirt, which has the longer back and the slit in it, whereas this one's just a regular t-shirt. So, excuse me. So tonight we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be doing the Zanana shirt. I'm going to be doing that one in blackberry, which is a nice fun color. You can't really see it. Sorry, the lighting is not good anywhere in my house, and I haven't gotten sophisticated enough. So the one thing about t-shirts before we get started is that they're fun to do. I love doing t-shirts. They are a little nerve-wracking for a lot of people because the first time you do it, if you make a mistake, you can't just wipe it off like you can on a chalkboard. So you're like, oh, I don't know about this, but I know everybody out there can do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to get through it. So the first thing that you need now, I didn't include anything with this. So the first thing you need is something to put in between your t-shirt. So you need some kind of plastic mat. You can use your parchment paper. You can use aluminum foil. You can use anything, well, almost anything that you have. The things that you don't want to use are anything that's kind of mushy or soft. So things like a dish towel, or cardboard, or like a mushy mat that, one of those dinner mats that has the cushion in it. Anything that's kind of soft, you don't want to use that. You want to use something that's hard or just flat without anything. The parchment paper that you're going to need for later on, it can be used, so that's no problem. You can do that. But you just want something that's in between the t-shirts. So just in case the ink bleeds through, you're not getting ink on the back of your shirt. So it just, depending on the type of material you have, it can happen. And you can see, I just use an old piece of wood board that I have. And you can see sometimes it has bled through. So that's why I just keep using that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my board in between my t-shirt layers. So right in the middle of it, or right in between it. Sorry, today my words are all messed up. All right, so let's get back over here. So see, I've got my in between. Oh, hold on, I'm frozen up there. There we go. So I've got my wood board in between my layers on my t-shirt. Now everybody would have gotten, I'm going to come back here for a second. Everybody has gotten a new transfer. Mine I've used several times, so I've already skipped the first step. But when you first get it, it's going to be really, really sticky. Now we're doing it on a t-shirt, so it's okay. You don't need to what we call defuzz it or fuzz it up or whatever. You don't need to get any of that stickiness off because we're putting it directly on fabric, so it's okay. But you do want to write on the back of your transfer, and you can just put what it is, procrastinating. You could just put an X there or whatever, but that tells you a couple different things. So I just wrote it there with a pen, magic marker or whatever. But one, it tells you which side is the back, and it tells you also once you get into it, if you have several transfers that are drying, you know which backing goes with what. But when you peel it off, now, like I said, mine has been used several times, so my stickiness is still kind of gone, but it's still there. I still have a lot of stickiness to it, so it's okay. But when you peel it off, if you don't write anything on the back, you can see there's a glossy side and then there's a not glossy side. So the glossy side is the side that you want to put the transfer on when you're storing it. All right, so we are ready to go. So you've done that. You've got your piece in between your t-shirt. I've laid my t-shirt out on my kitchen counter. That's where I do all my t-shirts. So you just want a nice flat surface, a table or whatever. One of the first things that I do is when I take my transfer is I want to be able to find the center. Now this is a trick somebody taught me and I have used it all the time. So you just want to fold, not fold it, but you just want to kind of put it right in half. So it's not really folded, but then you're just going to take it right up here and just crease the top of it. That way you know where the center of it is. So I didn't fold it all the way, but my center, see, I've just got my little crease right there. So that shows me where my center is. All right, so let's go to the t-shirt. Now, also the thing with t-shirts is, and you can see it on this one, my label isn't always in the center. So you can't always count that the label is going to be in the center of the t-shirt. So my center of the t-shirt, now you can get out your tape measure and measure it and so on and so forth. I don't do that. I just kind of wing it, you know? So, but you want to just make sure you know where that center is, you know? And I'm just going to take my pen here. Let's see. I'm just going to take my pen and that's going to be my center of my t-shirt. Now, see, you can see that my tag is anywhere close to the center of my t-shirt. Now, this is going to be really sticky. So the next thing that you want to do is when you're doing a t-shirt that has a high collar like these. Now, this is not a V-neck, but it's not a high collar, but it's a regular collar that goes up towards the neck. Oh, hold on, my thing is going. You're going to go 4 finger lengths down from the top. So that's where the top of my transfer is going to go. Now, if it was a V-neck, I would probably just do 2 finger lengths down from the top instead of the 4, because otherwise it will go all the way down. But it depends on how far the V-neck goes and everything. But for this one, we're going to go 4 finger lengths down from the top. And with this transfer, let's just get it back on here real quick. With this transfer, this is the top of the transfer, not up here, but the top of your transfer is the top of your design. So you'd want to go 4 finger lengths down from the top of your design. Now your design might start down here. Like if you didn't want the scissors, then your design is going to be with the don't. That's going to be 4 finger lengths down. So it depends on where your design is where you start. So everybody has a kind of different way. That's the way I learned it. And that's the way that I'm going to tell you how to do it. So, all right. So I've got a board in here. I'm going to do that. I know where my center of my t-shirt is, and I know where the center of my transfer is. And so I'm just going to take it, and you're going to peel it off of your backing. Now yours is going to be really sticky because yours is brand new. Mine is not as sticky because it's not as new as yours. So being able to do what I'm doing here, where you're just lifting it up, is going to probably be a little bit harder for you. So if you need to put this down just to kind of get an idea of where the center is, and then like I did, put a pen there so you can kind of mark it, because it is going to stick. Believe me, it is going to stick. All right. It's very hard because when the label's not in the middle, it's hard to judge where it is. Okay. So I want to make sure I can get this. Either way I look at it, I got it clear. Let me check the lighting here. Okay, so that's a little bit better. We'll put that lighting on. Okay, so now the first thing, let me come back to me. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is when you're opening up this, don't do what I did earlier and open it over the t-shirt. Note to self, don't do that. So just open it to the side so that if there is any to come out, it's not getting on your t-shirt like it did with me earlier. So you're just going to open up your little container, and you're going to have that ready. You're going to have your squeegee ready, and then your tray, you can put this little tray that you got, you can just put that in with it. Now, usually I tell you all to stir it, but everybody just got their transfers this week, so you should be okay. Now, I have a jar, so I'm going to use my jar. But before I'm sitting down. Sorry. Before you get started, what you're going to do is you're just going to take your squeegee and then just rub it in there, or just grab a big chunk of it. And then when you're scraping it off, when I tell you to scrape it off, I'm telling you to scrape it off into your jar. Okay? So that's what I mean by that. All right, so let's get back to doing the deed. All right, here we go. All righty, so is everybody ready? Okay, so also thank you so much for joining too. Make sure you say hi, and if you have any questions, just post them there. I've got somebody checking the comments, so we'll be able to respond back to you. And if I miss you, then I'll get you after I get off. But thank you so much for joining. Hi, everybody. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to get a big blob of your ink. Now, look at there. I'm just going to put that there so you can see. So see, I got a whole big bunch of it. Now I'm going to use silver. So I got a whole bunch of it on my squeegee so you can see. So that's what I'm talking about. Just get a big old blob of it. Don't try and get a little bit of it and so on and so forth. Oh, I guess maybe I should start first too. If you did want to take off your scissors, you can just take painter's tape and tape over it. Anything that you don't want, you can just tape it off. So if you didn't want the safety pins, you can just tape those off. And what I mean, I don't have any here with me, but you just want to get painter's tape and just tape it off so you don't accidentally cover it. But I'm going to do the whole thing today. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my big old blob of paste, see, just like that, and then just start in the middle and go. Now, also, this is going to be kind of like a MASH episode here. If anybody's old enough to remember MASH, there was a MASH episode where he said, but first, and that is the best episode of all time. If anybody out there knows what I mean. But first, he's defusing a bomb. Henry says, but first. So what I should have told you, when you get your transfer on there, you just want to smooth it all out and make sure you don't have any air bubbles, you don't have any creases, you don't have anything like that. So sorry about that. I just skipped that step. But see, I'm just getting a whole bunch of it and I'm just throwing it on there. So I'm not worrying about how much or how little I have. See, I'm just getting a whole nother glob of it and throwing it on there and covering up all of my design. It's always, for me, it's easier to just spread it out if I've got a lot. And you just want to cover up your design. Now I'm going over it a couple times just because with the glitter or with the shimmer, it is a little bit thicker. So I just want to make sure that that shimmer gets through there. If it's regular paint or regular ink, you're okay. But I would say 50% of you got shimmer. So now I'm just going to take this and now I'm going to scrape it off into your jar. So this is where I was saying you're just going to scrape it off into your jar. And now always go the same direction, top to left or top to bottom, left to right, whichever direction it is. Don't sit there and hem and haul. You're going to take your squeegee, hold it perpendicular to your surface, and then you're just going to press down and scrape off all the extra. And you're not going to like press down with the force of nature. You're just going to press down nice, soft, even pressure. And you're just going to scrape off all the extra. So you can see the difference here as I'm going through. You can see the difference. So just like that. Now you always want to make sure you don't get any lines. So I'm just going to show you, for example, something like that. There's a line right there. That's going to show if you pick it up. So you don't want that. So I'm just going to scrape over that. I don't know. You can't really see that one, but you just want to get any lines out. You want a nice, soft, even pressure going all the way across. And if you went left to right or top to bottom, it doesn't matter how you go. Just always go the same direction once you start. Don't change it halfway in between. So now I'm just going to go through, and you can see the difference here. I'm just scraping off all that extra. So see, I didn't worry about having too little or too much. I'm not scraping as I'm putting it on there. I put it on there and then I scrape it all off, and I'm putting it back into my jar as I'm going. All right. So now we're done. Don't wait for it to dry. You're just going to peel it up from, you can do top to bottom, you know, whatever, but always start in the corners. I just start in the bottom. You're going to peel it up. Now yours is going to be really, really, really sticky. So it might take a little bit of effort to get it off, but you're going to start at the bottom and you're just going to work your way up. All right. Now mine, I have no stickiness left. I have just a little bit of stickiness left. So mine's a lot easier to take off, but I'm just going slow for you guys so you can see the process. But you don't want to stretch your transfer. So you just want to take it nice and slow. You don't want to just pull it up from the center. You want to pull it up by your corners and just nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow, just like that. Oh, hi, everybody. Just like that. Now, there you go. All right, now we can't do it all. I need to go and clean this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my sink and I'm going to clean it with my magic eraser, and then I'll be back to you. All right, so hold on 1 second. Let me clean that. Where's the magic eraser? There it is. All right. Okay, so there we got it. Okay, so hold on. How did everybody do? Did you do good? All right, so I'm just going to come back to me real quick. So when I'm washing my transfer, let's come back over here and get this. When I'm washing my transfer, I want to do both sides. I don't want to get it all. It's all wet, so I don't want to get it everywhere. But I want to do the front side and I want to do the back side. You're just going to take your magic eraser and just wash it really well. Now, you can't really see this much with this one, but don't worry. Let's see. Don't worry if you get some of your transfer, or if this color, if it gets stained, especially if you're doing black. A couple of you got black. Black's going to stain it. You don't have to worry about if the transfer gets stained. What you want to worry about is making sure you're getting all the color out. Let me turn this light back off. You want to make sure you're getting all the color out of where the mesh is and where the design is. So that's what you want to pay attention. This front part where you go around it, that's going to stain. That's no problem. But just don't, what you want to make sure is that it's not drying into the transfer itself. All right. So I've got it nice and dry, or nice and wet. And I've cleaned both sides with my magic eraser. It came off just the way I wanted it to. And now when you're drying it, you want to dry it upside down. So that means the sticky side is on the top. You dry it upside down, just on a mat or something. Oh, sorry, my heat press. I've got it. it's telling me it's got to go. All right. So how did everybody do? So that's how you dry it. I'm just going to let that dry naturally. Now, if you wanted to do another one, you could take a dry paper towel and just wipe over it and make sure it's nice and dry before you do another one. So you don't want any kind of wet on there. Wet, creases, air bubbles, those are not your friend. All right. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you my t-shirt. So here's my t-shirt. Look at that. Look how fun that is. Now I want to point out one thing, and sometimes I do this because I get, let's see if I can get it up here. So see up here on the scissors, I didn't quite get that heavy or enough color there, but that's just because what I did there is I went too light there. So I didn't get enough of the color there, and then I didn't push down hard enough. But it looks pretty good. Now I could go in and fix that, but it's okay because sometimes done is better than perfect. And I think it looks really good. I think it looks really good. So a couple other things I want to tell you before we move on to the next step. So if you did want to do multiple colors, you can. It's really simple to do multiple colors. You could do the scissors in one color. You can do the thread in one color, whatever you wanted to do. Those, you just need different colors of ink, and you do the exact same process. So it's no problem with that. If I wanted to take off the scissors, I could have taken off the scissors, or wanted to make my buttons different colors, whatever you wanted to do. That is, you can do it. But this is a nice simple one, and I love it. Now this is still wet, so I want to be careful here. Let's see. I want to be careful here. So I'm going to take out my board that I've got in between. I want to be really careful because it's wet, so I don't want it to touch. So I'm going to take out what I put in the middle. And now, of course, I didn't grab one. Now I'm going to hang this. All right. So let's come back to me. So now I'm just going to hang this. But there it is. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? I think it's very cute. So, of course, I didn't grab a hanger because that would be too simple. So let me put that over there. Okay, so now I'm just going to let that dry. Okay. So usually I like to give it a couple hours to let it dry. You could take a heat gun to it. It's not really going to affect it one way or another, but I just let it dry. Sometimes they're dry in an hour, depending on your house, but just give it a couple hours. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the next step on another shirt. Now, this isn't the Procrastinating shirt, but this is a shirt I did with you guys last week, or at the last one, whenever that was. Thanksgiving weekend. So this is the hibernation mode on. I did that one with you guys. Now I have not sealed this one yet because I just haven't gotten around to it. So I very much want to wear this sweatshirt, so I'm going to go ahead and seal it. So here's the rule of thumb. If you're doing anything that you wash, you use ink. Everything else you use paste. All right. So t-shirts, tea towels, glasses, mugs, anything like that, that all has to be set so it becomes permanent. So you use the ink. Everything else you use chalk. So wood, chalkboard, metal, all that you use the paste. Now you can make it permanent, but we can talk about that later. Okay, so on a t-shirt, or a sweatshirt in this case, what you want to do is you can, to make it permanent, you can heat set it. You have to heat set it, and you can either use an iron or you can use a heat press. Now I have a heat press just to make it simpler. So if you use an iron, you want high heat and no steam. Okay, so no steam is very important because you don't want any kind of water because it's all water soluble. So it will mess up on you if you get steam. So if you use an iron, no steam. So this is where your parchment paper is going to come in handy. You're just going to get a little piece of parchment paper. All of my boxes. well loved. And that's what you're going to use as your barrier. If you've got any kind of other kind of thing, you know, fancy dancy things, whatever you got, you just need like this silicone mats or something. You can use that. I just use parchment paper. It's at the Dollar Tree, so I can get it there. So you're just going to cover up your design. Let's go back to this. Okay, so I'm going to cover up my design. Now on the procrastinating one, it's a little bit bigger than this one. This one's very small, so I can just do one run on it and it's good. On the procrastinating one, it's a little bit too much for my heat press. So I just do one half and then I do the other half. So you just want to make sure you're doing the whole thing. Make sure the whole thing is covered. Now, when you're doing it on an iron, you can just iron this. You want to iron it for about 4 or 5 minutes on this side. And then you want to turn it inside out and do the same thing on the inside and iron it. Now, some people do, some people don't, depending on what you want to do. But that's what I've done, is ironed it on the inside and out. Again, no steam. And just make sure you have your parchment paper covering up your design. Now, I'm using a heat press. So I've got mine set to 350. You just want it depends on what your material is. I've done 300, you know, whatever. So it depends on what it is. But I've done the t-shirts that you've got from me. I do them at 350. So mine isn't, oops, sorry. Mine, it's a big one, but it's not a big one. But I can get this whole design covered up with mine. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to do it for 30 seconds. So nothing real fancy. You could take it and kind of rub it around, whatever. I just leave it all in one spot. But this is where I was saying that my transfer is bigger than what the, oh, sorry, my camera. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, and then I got my big old arm there. So my transfer is a little bit bigger, or the procrastinating transfer is a little bit bigger than this. So I just do half of it. I would do half of it here, and then I would just move it over and do another half for another 30 seconds. But that is it. That is all you need to do. And now that is sealed. So I could wear it right now, which is what I'm going to do because it's freezing. Actually, I'm just going to throw it in the washer. But you don't need to put it in the dryer. You don't need to put it, you know, you don't need to do anything like that. Once it's sealed, you can do whatever you need it, whatever you want to do. I actually got it a little bit dirty because I wore it. And so I'm just going to throw it in the washer. But there's that one. Isn't that one cute? So that's what you're going to do with your t-shirt once it's dry. And like I said, you want to give it about a half an hour, or about an hour or two, depending. Now, when it's drying, it's still probably going to be a little sticky or a little tacky, I guess. You don't have to really worry about that. And you don't want to go in and just say, oh, is it dry yet? But if you touch it, it still might be a little tacky to the touch. And that's okay too. But you don't want to ink it and then right away set it. So at least give it an hour or two before you do that. All right. So I'm going to put that over there. I think that's it. It went a little bit faster. So all the questions I will answer. Hopefully we've got everybody answered as we're going through. But thank you so much for joining us today. So I want to take a minute real quick. Oh, excuse me. I still have sinuses here. I'm going to take a minute real quick to talk about the next class, which is going to be a super fun one. That one we're going to do a Valentine's Day, and that is the Chalk made Valentine for You kit. It's not really focusing in on there, but those we're going to make a whole bunch of little gift bags. So you get these little gift bags and you get the little toppers for it. Let me see. Oh, sorry. You get these little toppers for it. And then these are going to go right on top of here. Isn't that going to be cute? So they're nice and long, so you can put lollipops in there. You can put a couple cookies in there or whatever. And then with that, you get a exclusive transfer. Now, we've done minis before. So with this kit, you're going to get a fun Valentine's Day theme. This is exclusive to the kit. There's 12 designs. And look at these. I think these are so much fun. And a lot of them you can use. See, look, you're adorable. That one be good with cookies. A lot of those can be used throughout the year. But anyway, you're going to make these little gift bags with them. And there's 30 bags. There's going to be 30 complete bags that you can do, 12 different designs. And then it comes with all the colors that you need. You get 4 colors. You get the squeegees with it. You get everything that you need. You'll get these little sample packs. You'll get everything that you need and the instructions to make those. And that's $29.99. And you can order that direct. Oh, and then you get the little staples. Look at that. You get staples. You can't really see, but there's 2 different color staples. There's I don't remember what color they are. Anyway, but there's 2 different colors staples. So it just fits in a regular staple. And then when we make the bags, we'll have a little matching staples. That's $29.99. You can order it direct from my Chalk Couture website. Okay, I think that is it. We're going to finish up a little early. Maybe that will give Brian some time to do some things. I don't know. Okay, so I will get all your questions answered. And I want to see everybody's t-shirt. I hope everybody enjoys it. And like I said, I still have some t-shirts. I still have some of the procrastinating transfer left. So if you would like that, you can. If you just want the transfer, you can just let me know. If you just want the t-shirt, you can let me know. If you want the t-shirt already done up, you can let me know. And if you want to swap out the transfer instead of the procrastinating transfer, if you want another transfer, we can just swap it out. That's easy. That's an easy fix. So I think that's it. See, look at that. We've made a t-shirt in less than 30 minutes. Don't you love that? Okay, that's it for me today. I appreciate everybody, and thank you so much. Bye.